I'm gonna be touching on this thing or why people when they phahla and pray things get worse. Remember when you phahla or pray, let me just put it in one place. I get the same day, phahla and pray, get the same day, phahla and pray.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Our Creator Allah in the Quran says, Ad'uni astajib lakum. Call on me, I will respond to you. In the Bible, the same God, He said in the book of Jeremiah 33 verse 3, Call unto me, and I will answer you.
You're doing communicating with your ancestors and God.
In one of the authentic books of Islam called or titled Hadith Qudsi, Allah says, I am so self-sufficient that I am in no need of having an associate. Thus, he who does an action for someone else's sake as well as mine will have that action renounced by me to him whom he associated with me. The simplest way to understand this is that Allah, our Creator, is capable of doing everything by Himself. He does not need to have a partner. So when you're praying and calling upon Him and calling upon others, that includes calling upon Jesus, angels, the deceased, whom you call ancestors or amadlozi, the familiar spirits or the jinn, or your bishops or whatever or whoever, God will have that action or that prayer renounced. That means He will reject it. Then He will leave whatever it will be between you and that whatever entity that you will be calling upon, but God will exclude Himself there.
There's no such thing as things that to fall apart. You are the ones who open doors for the spirits of positivity to come into your life to remove all the unwanted things.
There is pretty much always an explanation. They have turned to evil in a very explicit way. They have turned to evil in a very explicit way. Context was obvious. She had turned to Satanism. Context was obvious. She had turned to Satanism.
So to conclude, the 12 apostles, Z.C.C, Zion, Sangomas, Shembe, IPCC, and many cults of this nature, they are all involved in blasphemies, meaning they disregard the laws of God, they belittle God, they do the opposite of what God says we should all do. For an example, God says we should not affiliate ourselves with the familiar spirits or jinns or amadlozi. They run along to those entities. God says homosexuality is wrong. They promote it, hence you find they are quote-unquote prophets. Most of them, they are homosexuals. The Sangomas, most of them are homosexuals. So you can see the trend here. All of this. And if you're not going to speak out against what they are doing, you're still one of them, because of this has always been the trend or the methodology of all the prophets, of all the righteous people, those who followed the will of God. They have been reprimanding, rebuking, debugging all sorts of filth in this world and inviting people towards the monotheistic way of worshiping God, to worship God as He ought to be worshipped.
The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.